A lot of people waste money buying equipment for their podcasts. They're not quite sure where to start. And in fact, when I give presentations, particularly public presentations, one of the first questions people ask me when they come up at the end of the session is, what gear do I need to buy to make a terrific podcast? If you're just starting out or experimenting, a headset like this, along with the editing package Audacity, is probably all you need. But if you want to go into the league of professionals, you need to think about some serious equipment. The three things you need are a microphone, a headset or set of speakers, and your editing package. Probably the most important thing you need to consider before buying a microphone is whether it's a condenser or a dynamic microphone. A dynamic microphone doesn't need a battery, but if you are going to use a condenser, and that's my preference, you're going to need a battery or what's known as phantom power. You need to make sure that you've got the right plugs. Generally speaking, good quality microphones come with what we call an XLR connector. The XLR simply means it's a balanced audio plug. But when you stick it into your computer, it's going to be unbalanced and you'll need a mini jack. So make sure when you get your microphone that you've got the right plug to plug it into your computer. Some people are going to make their podcast using computers that may not have been made in the last year or two, in which case it's probably worth looking at getting an audio interface, because a few years back computers didn't generally come with great audio cards or sound cards. For more advanced podcasters, you may choose to use a mixer, and your mixer may go into your computer via USB or by a phono plug. Once you've got your microphone plugged into your computer and it's up and running, you need to be able to hear what you've recorded, and you're going to do this either with a set of speakers or a set of headphones. If you're going to buy speakers, I recommend you go for something that's got a linear frequency response. You'll probably pay between $50 and $120 for one of these speakers. If you prefer to use headphones, you may choose something like this. The thing about headphones is they need to have a cup just around here, so when it goes over your ear, the sound coming out of the headphones doesn't leak out and get picked up by a microphone. The other thing I recommend is choose a pair of headphones. I like these ones here. These were a farewell gift when I left the BBC. These here are really good because they're very light on the head, and if you're going to use headphones for any length of time, you don't want them clamping in over your head because it'll create some strain and fatigue. Finally, as we said earlier on, you're going to need an audio editing package. We recommend Audacity. It's cheap, just download it from the internet. So there you have it. That's what you need in a podcast studio. If you want to go a little bit more complex, and I recommend you think about this, do interviews. What do you need to do an interview? Well, if you're going to do an interview on location, you're going to need a digital audio recorder. I use the Zoom H4. It's a terrific recorder. However, you can get the cut-down version of this. It's called the H2 for between $150 and $200 from some of the electronic stores in New York. Edirol and Nagra also make excellent recorders. The other thing you should consider is the acoustics in the room you're going to record your podcasts. You'll notice that I've got acoustic tiles on my walls. These stop your room from sounding like an echo chamber by absorbing some of the sound. So that's the equipment you need to buy if you're going to make a great podcast. First off, a decent microphone. Secondly, a set of headphones or a pair of speakers. And thirdly, an editing software package. If you want to make your podcast even more interesting so they can draw in your listeners, you're going to use interviews. And for that, you're going to need a digital interview recorder, which you can take out on location with you. And you may want to treat your room with some acoustic tiles so that it sounds even more professional. Combine good equipment with unbeatable content. You can't lose.